Hi, this is Natalie Rydstrom from SVR Picks. Now, sports writer and William Hill's in-play radio host Lee Feltz joins us now to run through the Champions League gossip and see if we can make a bit of money along the way. Lee, thanks for being here today.
No problem. Pleasure.
Now, we've just over a month, obviously, before the first two matches of the round of 16 kicks off. During the break, what's been hitting the headlines?
I suppose I was looking at the transfer news and how that affects the clubs who are in the Champions League. I mean, obviously, a lot of teams who are in the Champions League aren't going to want to let their best players go. You know, a lot of clubs sniffing around Borussia Dortmund, Mats Hummels and the like, and Juve as well. A lot of teams looking at Paul Pogba and others. But it's who they bring in to bolster their squad. And I was interested to see the signing of Wilfried Bony to Manchester City. I think, you know, we've talked a lot about Manchester City. I mean, I've said it over and over again. I hold my hands up, and I thought Man City would go the furthest of the English clubs. Obviously, they still might, but it looks unlikely. I also put Man City up to potentially get to the final, which looks far-fetched at the very least at the moment. But I think they've identified where the problem came. Against Roma at home and against CSKA Moscow at home, didn't score enough goals. If they'd have beaten either one of those teams, look where they would have been after the result they got against Bayern Munich and etc. etc. And great result against Roma. And I think Wilfried Bony is the kind of, they thought, right, we need another goal scorer here. What if Aguero's injured? Dzeko doesn't score the goals. You know, Jovetic doesn't score the goals that we need. He's not experienced enough in the Champions League. Now, Bony isn't either, but he's scored goals wherever he's been. And I think that's bolstered City's squad going into this massive game against Barcelona. Mm-hmm. And I think if they can be sensible with that signing and with his ability to bully teams, he's different to the other kind of strikers you get. He's physical. He's a good finisher, but he's physical, and he can make chances just through his physicality. And I think that's something that Barcelona won't really deal with that much. So I think if City are very sensible in the away leg and they play that like they played against Roma, just defend. If you get a goal, fantastic, but just defend. Then they get them back to Manchester. I think they've got a genuine chance. And I've seen, Barcelona, a lot of rumours going around behind the scenes, and I think that not everything's rosy there. They've got some fantastic players, as we know. The front three is just sensational. But I think Manchester City might have a chance here. And at around 11-5, over 2-1 for them to get through this two-legged tie against Barcelona, I'm willing to give them a chance there.
Yeah, well, Manchester City, there they are. Looking at the British teams to progress the furthest, they are the lowest there. The odds are about 6.5. Chelsea, obviously, they remain the favourites there, 1.91. Arsenal's in the middle. Do you agree with that order?
Yeah, I do. I do, because just because of the Suarez, Messi, and Neymar. I mean, they could destroy any team on any given day. They haven't really done it so far, but they beat PSG, didn't they? And all three of them scored. So, PSG are a very good side. So I think it is fair. But it also gives the punter an angle in as well, because although I think it's right, I don't think it's cut and dry. I don't think Barcelona is some sort of unbeatable force in the world football. So I think they are beatable. But yeah, it's right. I mean, Arsenal have got an easier draw, haven't they? Chelsea have got their own struggles against PSG, which we'll talk about a little bit in a moment.
Mm-hmm. Well, Real Madrid and Barcelona, from the very start of the competition, before even a ball was kicked, they have been the favourites. Only thing the odds have dropped, obviously, slightly. But both to win are priced around 3.7. Now, would either of those teams get your bet right now, or is there still chance of an outsider?
I've been with Bayern Munich from the very start. That was my pick. And every time you've asked me this question, I've said, I'm going to stick with my original. I'm not going to go on Real Madrid. They can't, they have to repeat. They have to do something that no one else has done. They have to win the Champions League back-to-back, and etc., etc. If I was coming to it now, I probably would pick Real Madrid because of the draw. Bayern Munich I'm sure, will get through, but they've got a harder draw than Real Madrid have got. Real Madrid will coast through their knockout tie. And in a way, I think the fact that Real Madrid have got a more competitive domestic division might prepare them better for the bigger games, whereas Bayern Munich almost have a weekend off when they play at home against some teams. And that sounds condescending to the other Bundesliga sides, but they're that much better. So I think in terms of preparation, Real Madrid might just be better prepared coming into the semi-finals when they've got a tough game in midweek. I mean, most people would probably say, you'd rather rest players at the weekend, which Bayern would do. I'd rather my players be at the top of their level, really firing and having beaten someone good at the weekend, go into the next game and beat them. So I probably would. I'm going to stick with Bayern Munich, but my advice to anyone coming into this now would be to back Real Madrid, I think.
Okay, another obviously market top goal scorer, and we've got sort of man of the moment there, Ronaldo, who interestingly is not the favourite to be top goal scorer. He's priced 4.5 there, and it's Messi who's the favourite, priced 2.2. Who is your top goal scorer at the moment?
Well, I think that this is a great bet, Cristiano Ronaldo. And when do you ever get a chance to back Cristiano Ronaldo at 4.5 to be the top goal scorer in any competition? I mean, I think it's a great price. And obviously, the reason he's that price and the reason Messi is favourite is because Messi's got 8 goals so far. He's 3 ahead of Cristiano Ronaldo. The man who's top of the charts at the moment is Luis Adriano with 9. He won't, they won't progress far enough for them to become the top scorer. But if you look at Real Madrid's next game, the team they're playing concede goals for fun. They score goals and they concede them. Cristiano Ronaldo could feasibly score. He could score 2 goals in each game. He could score 1 goal in each game, and he closes the gap on Messi. Messi, of course, in the game against Manchester City, if it's a tight 2-legged affair, he might not get a goal. He might get 2 or 3 in the top, obviously. But I think Cristiano Ronaldo has got much better chance of scoring in their 2 games than Messi's got of scoring in both the games against Manchester City. So that's my thought process. By the time we get past this first knockout stage, the round of 16, Cristiano Ronaldo could feasibly be level with Messi or a lot closer to him than he is now. And I think at that price, at the 4.5, I think is a great bet. I also think that Real Madrid will go further in the competition than Barcelona will. I also think that there are more players in the Barcelona team who can score goals than Messi will. Messi lays goals on. Ronaldo's the man. They give him the ball. Messi gives the ball to Suarez and to Neymar. And so I think at 4.5 it's a fantastic bet. I think Real Madrid will get to the final, so you're going to have him all the way through the tournament, as long as you stay injury-free. So love that bet.
Okay, so Real Madrid's in the final. Who are they playing against, would you say, obviously bearing in mind the draw?
Yeah, well, I'll go with Bayern Munich. It's boring, and it's what everyone probably would expect me to say. I just don't really see any other team breaking through. I don't think Chelsea will quite get there. Very good team.
And not Barcelona?
No, not for me. I just think there are problems there. I think you have to be very, very together and believing in your coach and everyone singing from the same hymn sheet and all the rest of it, all the other cliches. But I don't think Barcelona are quite there this season. I think they'll probably change the manager at the end of this season and try again, or Messi might leave and the manager will stay there. But something will give there eventually, I think. So they're the best 2 teams in the tournament, Real Madrid and Bayern Munich, and it would be a fantastic final. I don't see Atletico going that far this year. I don't see Borussia Dortmund doing it. I don't really see many of the other teams with a chance. Chelsea maybe, And maybe my bet will come in. Maybe Man City will surprise us all and get to the final. Doubt it, though.
All right, Lee Phelps, thanks for joining us today.
No problem.
The SBR Network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns. Big money free betting contests year-round. A real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.